what is going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now today we've got the review for episode 85 of Boruto. Now I will be 100% honest, this video will probably be very short. At least I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible because I don't want to end up rambling on about stuff which I've talked about a cajillion times before in the past about this arc, because not a great deal really went down in this episode, and I actually contemplated reviewing it or not because I've actually only just gotten around to watching the episode. I had friends around over the weekend and I didn't get to see it then, and then after that I saw all of the backlash and uproar and people going absolutely nuts about how terrible this episode actually was, that it just kind of put me off. But I decided, you know what, I can't, I have to put my bias aside. I can't just review the good episodes. If I'm going to review the series, I've got to review them all. So that's what I'm doing. I thought I'd knuckle down, get around to watching the episode, and this may come as a surprise to you, I didn't think it was that bad. Now, by no means am I calling it a masterpiece, and by no means am I calling it good. If I had to pick a word, it'd just be average, okay, something along those lines. I do feel as though the backlash was way over the top for this episode. Personally, I thought the week before, episode 84, I thought that was much worse, in my opinion. I felt that felt much more slow, and just, to be honest, I can't really remember much of that episode at all. It was that kind of just forgettable to me. So this episode, although not much of one, it was an improvement. And the whole Boruto and Seki thing, like, it was cool. I loved to see him again. It was really interesting. He got some good character development and I really enjoyed what they actually did with his character. But that whole Boruto and Seki thing and the whole stone, you know, the heart stone, whatever it is, it was nice. It told a story. That story was told well. But I've seen that story a million other times in shonen and other anime that, you know, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's their fault that I've seen it a million times. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, find your will, you know, you got to believe, it's in the heart, blah, all that type of stuff. We've seen it all before. It wasn't overly important, all the Boruto and Seki scenes, I don't think, unless he makes a miraculous appearance at some point later on in the arc and saves the day or something, which I really don't think we'll see him again in this arc. But maybe I'll be wrong, I'm not too sure, at least not in a vital role anyway. The whole Boruto Seki thing and the Heartstone scenes that we've been getting, they're clearly there just to kind of fill out the episode and get some very slight interactions and development between Boruto and Inoki and all that, and obviously now this week Boruto and Seki. So all of that, cool, seen it all before. It's not their fault, so I'm not going to go too over the top criticising it, but yeah, it's not really that important in my opinion overall to this arc. However, what does seem to be pretty damn important in this arc is all of the stuff that was going on with Ku and the others, which was the most important main focus of this episode for me. We learn something about the Akuta, and that is to make them, I believe, eternal, something along those lines, because obviously at the minute they're kind of dying, their bodies decaying. We've seen it with Sekie and the Genjutsu girl and the red-haired guy whose names I don't 100% know, and now Lord Ku has actually slowly started to decay. And due to the science that have been the research I've been doing on Mitsuki, they found out that they need a human heart to fix this, because something along the lines of Mitsuki's heart is made from incredible technology, something along those lines. I've only seen the episode once because I'm already late enough as it is reviewing this, so I do apologise if I'm getting some of these facts a little bit mixed up. You guys obviously have seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about, but this did make me think, because the Akuta was saying how they need a human heart to essentially, you know, live on and be eternal, blah blah blah. And Ku was saying that, you know, there's no way Inoki's going to agree to all this, which, you know, too right, he wouldn't. Ku even said the whole point of the Akuta are to protect humans, and if they're going to have to kill humans in order to make the Akuta eternal, then, you know, what's the point? So I said this a couple of weeks ago when Inoki was first revealed to be a bad guy. I said that I think Inoki will be doing this for the right reasons, and that Ku would actually be the one to turn it all sour and make basically be the bad guy, which, as we see, is actually what is going down. So that was really interesting, but it did make me think about Mitsuki, and does Mitsuki have an actual human heart? Like, what is it made out of? Is he gonna die at some point as well, just like the Akuta, because he's not got a 100% pure human heart, something like those, along those lines? Not too sure. I think maybe looking into it a little bit too much there. I don't think anything like Mitsuki's gonna die at all is going to happen or anything like that. We also got a bit more information about the curse mark, how they're close to getting rid of it or something along those lines, which, you know, kind of interesting. I reckon that once that curse mark's been lifted, maybe then we'll see Sage Mode. I don't know, I'm just waiting on Sage Mode now at this point. We saw Shikadai. Shikadai was a badass for about 12 seconds and then he was gone again. That was quite cool. Onbu Konohamaru finally made his appearance in the village, and Onbu Konohamaru is best Konohamaru, I'll be 100% honest. Even though he didn't really do much, it was nice to see him do something, you know, because Konohamaru has been absolutely shafted in the Boruto anime, and I'd probably even argue in the Boruto manga as well. Like, Konohamaru has been, I don't want to say a letdown, just shafted. It's probably the best way to use it. He's not been utilised to his best abilities, and he's kind of just been made. He's just kind of been used to make Boruto look better, if that makes sense. But yeah, that was basically it for the episode, if I'm honest. You know, this arc, it's again same problems, I guess you could say. Like I said, I thought this episode was a big improvement on last week's, but it's similar problems where it's kind of slow paced. Really, this episode you could have done without it. I mean, there's only a few minutes in there which are really important to the arc. Like, so could you skip it? Probably, but obviously I don't recommend skipping episodes. But this arc, I've said it over and over, slow pacing, really good in places, then it comes to a stop. I've been saying now for the past few weeks that I am holding out hope for a badass climax with Sage Mode, Mitsuki and all this, so fingers are still crossed that the climax of this arc is going to be very, very good. If I hear the word will one more time in this arc, I may start to scream. We've had like Mitsuki's will, Kozuchi's will, Ku's will, Inoki's will, the will of the stones, Seki's will, Boruto's will. Literally everybody's will has been in this arc, and it is driving me insane. But guys, make sure to leave in the comment section down below what your thoughts and opinions were on this episode. As always, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad. I will see you guys in another video, but until then, peace.